Hello everybody, it's Leanne Greff with today's live video. Every Tuesday, 11 a.m., I host a free class on Facebook. I do upload my videos to YouTube, so that is another option for you if you're not watching on Facebook Live, watching on YouTube. However, I was hacked last week, exactly 1 week ago. My Google account got hijacked and I had to get another email address, so that's my new email address. And I also have to get a new YouTube channel. So look under Leanne Greff. I will add the link to the video in the description of this on YouTube and hopefully in the comments as well. But yeah, it's been quite the week trying to navigate this no Google and new accounts, new passwords, everything I've ever. My husband was so worried that they got our passwords that he changed passwords and logins on everything I ever go to. So we have it written down, but it's been quite the process. Let me see if I can get my laptop synced up. So please, if you were a subscriber on my YouTube channel, I hope that you will subscribe to this one as well so you don't miss anything. I am hoping to upload a lot of my, oh, that's really looking crooked. Don't know why. Let's see if I can fix that. I don't know. It's just going to take a process to upload some of my old videos. I do have them saved on my my computer, but it's time consuming. So I do have, I don't know, 6 or 7 videos, recent videos out there on my YouTube channel now. So anyway, that's been the deal. So please look under Leanne Greff and subscribe. And they say that if you ring the little red bell after you subscribe, you'll be notified whenever I post a new video. That's what the little red bell is about. Now you can subscribe, but under the red bell, there's notification settings, and that's where you can choose just how much you want to see of my videos. So yeah, thanks. And thanks for those of you who've reached out to me asking, where's my YouTube channel? And, you know, where are you at? And what happened? And or commiserations for my troubles with my Google. There is a slight chance I will get my old channel back. We finally found a way to contact Google. It was really tough, by the way. My husband spent hours trying to find something link, and he did, and they said they're considering it, but chances are pretty slim. So for now, that my new YouTube channel is under my name. Okay, let's get started with door prizes. So last week's prizes were the Back on Your Feet stamp set for sharing and the in colored gems or jewels. They're retired, but the colors are still there. So thank you, Lori. I hope you do subscribe. I appreciate that. It's kind of funny. I had almost 17,000 subscribers to my old channel. And as of, was it yesterday morning, I had 13. And as of this morning, I have over 300. So thank you. Thank you all for subscribing and building me back up again. It's really hard to see all those subscribers gone. Yeah, it's been a process. Okay, so prizes for last week for sharing. Melanie Foy won the Back on Your Feet stamp set, and Daphne Haston won the In Color Gems. So congratulations, gals. I appreciate that. If you'd like to win door prizes, please comment or share. Now, next week's prizes for my video are these cards, and some of them are fun fold cards. So you can see that they are just a little different. I really like this one, where the designer paper kind of hangs off so you get to see both sides. So that's an interesting way. The cardstock actually ends about there. So these feature the Fitting Florets bundle. So those are the for sharing. You'll be in the drawing for this. For commenting, you'll be in a drawing for the cardstock sampler of the current. This was last year, so it doesn't have this year's in colors in it. But yeah. So thanks for commenting already, and hopefully you'll share. the video on your feed or in a stamping group. Hey, we're going to be playing with the Adorable Owl stamp set. So how many of you already have this and how many want it? I'm going to share right now. I'm going to share some swaps that I received with this set just to inspire you a little bit. I'm not going to give creator because some of the names are not on there, but this one shows that you don't have to color in browns or grays for the owls. It's kind of fun to have different colors. And here's one with the birch tree die cut from the holiday catalog. Here's another one that's just really simple. That I like the simple greeting, a basic layered and then a greeting banner with the little owl. I mean, you can get inspired from some of these layouts. Here's one that is, I believe it's 4 1/4 by 4 1/4, and they have a little pop-up with the owl on there. So there's that one. Another one with non-traditional colors of the owl. A lot of these are using the Dandy designer paper from the Celebration catalog. Thank you, Melinda. I appreciate that. That you subscribed already. This one's by my friend Susie. We share swaps together a lot. So this one is just a fun. This is the Country Bouquet. Oh no, Country Floral Lane designer paper in the Valentine's Suite. Another one. I don't remember what paper this is. Oh, I bet this is the new designer paper that is free with, I don't have it yet, with $150 order. It's a Hostess paper. But can you see the little flowers on there? So those are the loose daisy embellishments. They made like a little skirt around the owl, or a lei, whatever you'd want to call it. And they are just the cutest little things. They are flat, and every one, there's a few different sizes, but every one has a daisy or a flower and a petal on them. So they're very thin. They're not adhesive backed. So you do need a dot of glue when you apply it, but I thought you'd want to see that. Here's another one, fun fold. Just make another score line, add some designer paper, shows 3 different papers. That is also the Dandy Designs. Here's another one, non-traditional. We've got a green owl here, but it's not Halloween. But that would be a cute one for Halloween too. All right, so there are some swaps that I received for the Adorable Owl stamp set. Okay, all right, so we're gonna play with this one. Make note, please. I'm gonna leave that up for a while, my new name of my YouTube channel. And I'm gonna get into just a couple things that are happening. So I do want to mention last week's video featured the stack and cut templates. And I put them on a 12 by 12 backing. So each set I put on this so I can pass it around at my events or display it. So I can see that this one's no, it's not upside down. There you go. So you can see the different colors. These are all the Dandy Designs papers. So I don't know if I'm getting all those in the screen. But what I posted on my blog today are these cards, also a free download that has the stack and cut template on it, the directions, the measurements, everything, along with the products on the back so you know what I used. So go to my blog, it's at flowerbug.net. So if you haven't subscribed to my blog, I would love it if you would, so you can see what I post. I post mostly Monday through Friday. Videos, and all my videos are posted there. My club projects. I've got a blog hop this week with fancy folds. In fact, I think both of them will be what I share today, sharing fancy folds with the Adorable Owl set. So there's that. I also wanted to talk about the starter kit deal. So I've had numerous people ask me about it, and they're interested because it is just such a good deal. If you basically, this is the total amount you can get for not free, but with including one of the minis. So you can either get the boho blue mini or the white mini, And that will cost you $129, but you pick out, in addition to this, another $175 in product of your choice. So, and that doesn't include the paper pumpkin they throw in there. So it's a really good deal. So be sure that if you're ordering $100 anyway, why not get the deal and get this starter kit and get 20% off, up to 20 to 25% off all your future purchases. So you do get the stack of plates that goes with this as well in your starter kit, if you choose that. Now remember, without this, it's only $99. With this, it's $129. So you're paying $30 for the $63 item. So yeah, it's a really, really awesome deal. And you know, I mentioned last week in the video that you don't have to stay with it forever. You don't have to. You can be a kidnapper. You can get the deal, stay in as long as you want, enjoy the discount while you can. When you're done ordering, you just stop ordering. That's how it is. But one of the best deals things about this joining now that I didn't mention last week is that there's a $300 minimum per quarter. That's every 3 months. But the first quarter doesn't start until April. So you have April, May, and June, including actually January, February, March, to put in $300. So you need $300 in orders by the end of June to stay active. And we get to pre-order from the new annual catalog, which means new in colors, new stamps, new dies, new everything in the annual catalog. You get to order from that while you're a new demonstrator and get your 20% off. So if you like the in colors and you like to get things ordered right away or early when they're new, you need to become a demonstrator and get the starter kit. It is just smart planning. Okay, another thing I have going on is my paper share. So I have all 95 sheets of the new pattern paper, designer paper, specialty paper, ready for, in 6x6 so you can get a sheet of everything in the new catalog. So it includes the specialty papers, the foils, the shimmers, and everything. So that is, let's see, I believe it's $34 with tax and shipping. And if you're long distance, there'd be another cost for shipping it to you. So it depends on where you live, but that is on my shop. So I just started another list. I filled 2 so far, so we're going on the next one. And as they fill, I order and then I ship it to you. So if you like a sheet of everything, that is a great deal. Okay, what did I forget? I think that's probably it, and we can get into our first card. So the first card we're going to play with, featuring the adorable owls, is my club card this month. So we are doing they're both fun. Both of my projects today are fun fold cards. So here's one of the first ones. And this is how it opens. So it has this little latch. So can you see how that slips right in there and holds your gatefold closed? I've made these before. I call it a vertical slider card. Reason being is that if you don't attach this, so this one is attached to the front of the card. It does not come off. This is an option for people who don't want anything loose. And it's obvious, you know, when you're handed to somebody and they open it, it's obvious how it closes. So they don't have to close it. They can stand it right up. But if they do, and this one stands up as well, but this one slides up and down. So you can just decide what you want to do. So this one comes off of both sides, and you can see that there's 3 circles, and I'll show you how to do that in just a minute. Okay. All right, here are my pieces. And I don't think I'm going to color today because both of my projects need coloring, but I'm going to try and avoid that if I can. And I'm going to push, I don't know how much I can do, but we'll find out when I get this in there. But you want to push the score line away, because once you add this, if you can see, there's a slight gap in here. Oh, it's not even in there. Hold on. No wonder there wasn't too big a gap. So you can kind of see there's a little bit of a gap because of the mechanism that holds it closed. It doesn't bother me. It's kind of fun. You know, it's whatever you choose to do. And you don't even have to add it. You can just eliminate this whole thing and just adhere this to the front of your card and make a traditional gatefold card. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna move that aside. I didn't check my glue ahead of time. Hopefully it's working. Yeah, not so much. Hold on a minute. Let's see if I can get the little, I haven't used this one for a little while, so I'm gonna see if I can get that little goober out of there. We'll see. Nope, guess I'm moving on to my seal. It's always best to have a backup, right? I don't think I need the liquid glue today. Sometimes I do. And I have another one across my desk. So the measurements, oh, I gotta put the measurements up here for you. I'll do that in just a second. They slipped down, so I missed them. Okay, there you go. It's a little smaller than my usual measurements, but hopefully you get the gist. Okay, so when you're putting these together, this is the largest. So this is the one I'm doing right here. This is the largest one, and that one I want vertical. So I'm gonna post that way, or lay that way, and then this one, you can kind of use your grid paper to line that up straight. That looks pretty straight to me. I'll just sneak this under here. We'll see how good I did. When it's on the, sometimes I just use the card and my, see that seems a little bit, well, no, I guess not. All right, so then this will go that way. Oh, what did I do different here? Oh, okay. All right, get myself all confused. We're going to ink in soft suede. I decided to go with a brown owl for, I didn't get too out of the box with this one. We're gonna stamp the birthday guy in soft suede. Then I can, and this is on a piece of, oh, I can see I got a little hair there, Stylish Shapes dies. So then you just color and just add some color to your pieces. I'm gonna have a little Granny Apple Green on the hat because I've got Granny Apple Green, and then I would do Pool Party and the eyes. And the browns, I decided to use Crumb Cake for the browns. So I got a little bit muddied in there for that owl, but he's just gonna go on there like that. And I did pop him up. So I'm not gonna, well, yeah, I will. I'll just use one for now so I can kind of take them off and finish coloring. All right, so the circles. And I'm not gonna do the inside but I do have a tip. So I had this leftover piece of designer paper after cutting out all the fronts. I had a nice strip across, so I added just a 3/4 inch strip, and that helps you just laying that on there. And I'm gonna get my ink back out, laying that on there, but not adhering it, just in case you have maybe a mishap on your stamping. You know exactly where to put it or where not to stamp. It doesn't have to be right on, but that's what you want to do. And then you do the hoot hoots. I call it fun. It's kind of fun to say when we were at my card clubs. It's like, have you done your hoot hoots or your hoots? So on the front of the card, basically, I just had them choose a color. And actually, this might not be quite the right color for this one because I've got more Pool Party, but it was here. And so on the front of the card, we just added some little hoot hoots and just fussy cut them. That's how simple it is to just add some fun words. It adds a little playfulness on your card when you do that. So yeah, that's a fun way to do the inside or the front of your card, just to add something, because I just felt like it was missing something when I was designing this card. And so just adding those little words helped a lot. Okay, so we have our front, have the inside well, somewhat stamped. I have 3 2-inch circles. Now it does not matter. You could use squares, you could use circles. It does not matter what you do, but you do need to fold 2 in half. This is how this card works. Just to fold them in half as best you can. Then you have one that's not folded in half. I'm going to add my adhesive, and you're just going to basically make your circle once again. Make sure you use good adhesive so it doesn't come off. Okay, so you notice the flat part is open on here. So you put the scored or the fold flat on your piece. So the hardest part of this is to get this straight. So sometimes what I do is I add just a little pencil mark, maybe use something. So first of all, you have to know what's north and south. So here's north and south. So I'm just going to make a little line. I can always erase that. That's just a pencil mark. Then I know, oops, I want my folds down. Very, very important. Otherwise, your card does not stay flat when you're doing this. It pops, the gate pops open again. But now I'm just looking at my little gourd or half folded area here and also trying to center it. Okay, and then I need to move that a little bit. Okay. So there we go. Nice burnish. You know, this is something important if you're using adhesive. If you want it to stay on well, be sure you burnish your adhesives. Very important. I'm not going to be able to get in that or too well here. So now we have our mechanism. And I'll just do it on this card because, well, I'll do it on this one. Here's my inside. I'm not quite finished yet. So if you want this to be permanent, slip that in there, decide how tall or where you want it, low or high or centered, and you can adhere that. So I would adhere all of this. I'd put adhesive under here and on the half over from the point to point on that half. I put it just about everywhere. So put that in there, adhere it, and then this side will grab it. And you can kind of see what I mean about it lifting. So this is where I would almost push my gate or my score lines with my bone folder and make it, I like to say make it mined. So that is basically how you do the card. So isn't that fun? So that, I'm calling it a vertical slider. I don't know if there's a better word for that, but that's what I'm calling it. Well, thanks, Susan. I'm glad you're going to make some of these cards. They are super fun. Like I said, I didn't color because I didn't want to take the time. I've got a lot to show with the next card, too. Okay, so like I said, you have options with this card. You can leave it attached or not. And it's not hard at all to get that in there, okay? All right, that is, where if I move my greetings or my, there are the directions or the measurements for that. Okay, all right, moving on to the next card. And this one, I was super inspired by my team member, Bobby, who is my artist of the month at my flower bugs. And every time one of my flower bugs is artist of the month, I get inspired by their cards. They really do their best to show off the card. So here is what we're gonna do, and I'll show you Bobby's card. She featured the By the Bay. See if I can find that in the catalog, so I can show. I didn't bring everything over here. You know, it's is it Seaside Bay? I think it's called Seaside Bay. You know, they're in alphabetical order in the back. So Seaside Bay is on page 23. I use the index a lot. So this is the suite that Bobby featured, and here is one of her cards. So look at this fun card. And actually, I think, Susan, I think you made one of these in your Artist of the Month too, with your Christmas Lights Aglow bundle. But I hadn't seen, I don't know, this was just different with the designer paper in there, almost like a photo in a way. And really, for these kind of cards, you could put a photo in there. Wouldn't that be an awesome card to put on display? To have a photo of your grandkids or your dog or cat or something. But this is one of the cards she made, and I'll be showing more soon, all the rest of her cards, actually on my blog later this week. So it's just beautiful, but it folds flat for mailing and then pops up for such dimension. So we're gonna make one of these, totally different suite. I'm gonna feature this Country Gingham designer paper and the Adorable Owls. So, you know, the Adorable Owls are in the Celebration catalog and they are free with a $50 order. So, and that Dandy Designs paper that I used is free with a $100 paper on the owl. So that is a big 48 pack of 12 by 12 paper. So, I'm just loving that paper. Okay, so this card is very, I want to say almost busy. It's almost too busy with the pattern paper that I use, so I'm going to tone it down for the next one. But what do you think? I mean, it's just so fun to play with. There's the inside. So I did use some stars and clouds from, let me grab my notes. From the Give It a Whirl dies. That's where I found those. So yeah, let's get started. So there's my measurements. Now this card really features the stitched rectangle die. So before I get going, here is that Country Gingham designer paper. So it's really soft colors, and then you get a little bit of that sweet sorbet in there with the pastels. So yeah, it's great, a great paper. Okay. So you start out with a piece of designer paper measuring 4 inches by 5 1/4. Then you take, I'm going to try and figure out which one this is. I think it is, no, yeah, it is this one. So yeah, this is what you do. You take, no, I'm wrong. Anyway, it's done. That's done. All I have to do is look. Yeah, it isn't this one. It's the other one. Okay, so you have to have 2 sets here. So this is the first one, and you kind of have to figure this out. And I did show how big this is. So you start out with 4 inches by 5 1/4, and then you take one and you make a frame, and you right away you do both at the same time, and you end up, let me get this out of there, you end up with that. The other piece for the center I saved for another project. You don't need the center, but you do need frame right here out of there. So you're going to use both. Okay, so here is, sorry, I'm confusing myself. Here is the other piece that I got. That's the better way to show you. Okay, all right, so that's the first one. Then for the navy layer, you need to make another frame using another set. Okay, so the stitch rectangles play a huge role in this card. I don't know if you could do it without them. You'd have to have some type of window to do this. So let's see if I can use my seal here. I should go get my liquid glue. Just put a little bit. The nice thing about the Seal Plus is it does just give you little pieces that break off nicely. So that just gets glued on here. So you can see I'm going with a balmy blue with navy here, where this was sweet sorbet. Okay, so we got our card base. And this goes on first. Let me use my bone folder. Okay, then we'll add this piece. So it makes pretty good use of your designer paper, that piece. You only end up wasting a little bit in the center, and it's enough to do something with. Okay. So I wanted it to the colors to pop. That's why I almost chose black, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna try navy. All right. So the inside of the card is 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. And I want to bring in my template again, because this is what I use for the inside of my cards all the time. So you can get 5 pieces from 1 8 1/2 by 11. So you make your first cut at 4 3/4, and then the second cut from there is 3 1/2. Then each piece is 3, and this is the only piece you don't use. So, and you can use scraps for anything for that piece. A little bit of, well, I shouldn't say the only. There's a couple strips that you don't use, but it makes great use of your paper, and you get so many different cards, or layers. Instead of 4, you get 5. So I'm gonna close this back up so you can see the card with the measurements, and we're going to stamp the birthday guy in the center, in the inside of the card. Okay, and then we will stamp for this part. We're going to stamp the flying guy. So I haven't been paying attention to the comments. I apologize. I will answer any questions you have in a little bit. I'm sorry. I'm getting a little distracted talking today. Yeah, you made 2 different cards, Susan, when you did your artist share. Yeah, you did. So that's going to go in here. Now, the mechanism for this pop-up card is this simple. It's just a little box. So when I started out with this large layer of designer paper, I had this left over. I had to cut it down. So this designer paper piece, you need 2 pieces. I should have that on there. 3 inches long by 1 7/8 inch across. And you know what I did forget? I forgot my Simply Scored. So hold on, I'm gonna go grab that. I just find it easier to use this than my paper trimmer because I don't have to move the paper. I'm just going to scoot that over. Okay, so this is scored kind of an odd scoring amount. It's every 3/8 inch. So when you look at your ticks, and I'm using the larger end, not the finer end on designer paper because it's thinner. So every tick here is an 1/8. So 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go all the way down. And from this third, you go 1, 2, 3. And from, let's see, I was here 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that is scored all along there. Now I just need to trim that into, and I did that purposely, left it long. I just have to trim that into 2, it's 6 inches long, to 2 3-inch pieces. And this is my box. So then you just fold it on all score lines and fold that over. And I did grab my glue, my other glue while I was over there. Hopefully this one is working. And just add some glue here and fold this over. And then I like to fold it again just to make sure it's going to lay flat, and again, and on all those score lines, and just let it set to dry. Okay, same thing here. Just fold it and add some adhesive to one end, and then fold the other over it. And that will ensure that you have a nice square piece. Okay, so we are ready for those. I am going to color this because I want to lay that inside before I start. So we're going to give him his beak, little bit non-traditional colors here. So I'm just debating on if I want to make him, like here is a piece of scrap. I don't think I need all of that. I'm going to just test how dark this is. Yeah, that's a little bit dark. I'm going to make him blue. He's going to be a non-traditional owl. And I'm going to rush this a little bit. I don't know if you like watching people color, but it could be a little soothing. It's actually fun to color for sure. Okay, we're going to make his eyes. Just gonna always test a little bit darker, but stay with, I think this is Pool Party actually. Both of these. I should have brought over some Balmy. Yeah, that was a mistake, but okay, it's fine. Now here is Sweet Sorbet, which is going to have a little bit of Sweet Sorbet here and there on the card, and he's going to pop. This way I should be using my fine tip. I usually do. But it does go a little faster when you don't. As long as your tip is nice and pointy and you haven't overused it, you can get by with this. How many of you have blends markers? How many of you tried them? when I overuse them, I end up, now I'm going to switch to the other fine tip, the bullet tip, so I can fill in some of these missing spaces. I end up putting a little piece of washi tape, I didn't bring any over here, on the ends. If I overuse them and the ends aren't as good anymore, I put a piece of washi tape. So because one end is always good and the other one isn't, so I won't throw it away until I have both ends are bad and or they're not coloring. So this is going to go right in the center. And we're going to see how easy it is to make this card. I'll try and center that. And like I said, the measurements are right there. Hopefully you see that. So here we are with the, trying to decide which way. I think I'll do it like this. Like this, okay. I'm looking at the seam because the seam is just a hair longer and I don't want to see that. And this somehow fits exactly in that spot. So you're just going to kind of press on it. You can't press, I could press down a little bit, but I don't want it to move. Okay, all right. And then this one. Hopefully I'm still in the screen. I apologize if I'm getting out of the screen. So just press on there and I'm gonna lower that and try and keep it in place. Get a nice seal. See how that's working and how it folds flat? All right, and then this will just go on there. Isn't that just the cutest ever? But, oh, I didn't do my clouds yet. Okay, there's still time. All right, so these clouds are from the Give It a Whirl dies. And I even have, this one isn't even whole, but that's okay. And I have my, sorry, clean my area up just a little bit. My balmy blue, and I'm just going to do a little bit on the cloud. I could have done it on this. I just didn't want to mask my owl. I was being lazy. Just a hint of some blue on the cloud. Okay. All right. And then I will probably have to trim this. I'm going to just kind of guess. And that's going to go where it goes. And yes, I should have trimmed this before I put it on the card, but I can just place it wherever I want and make it work. So I just want the hint of clouds around him because he's flying. But I don't want them to, there we go. Okay, now I think we can add that. See how that just adds a hint of something fun? All right, so we're gonna make sure these are straight up and down, not laying down when we put this on. Just add some more glue, and you could use any adhesive. It doesn't have to be the liquid glue if you're not a fan. So to get this on, I want it to be straight everywhere. I think I'm good. Now after it sets a little bit, I will press down and then make it go sideways, but I just don't want it to move right now. Now for the, we're gonna add these red stars, and these are from the Give It a Whirl dies. But first we're going to stamp that Hoot Hoot. Now I'm gonna do my navy ink. I could have done this ahead of time. Yeah, this layout could be done with any design. As you saw, she did it with the By the Bay bundles, or Seaside Bay. So we're just going to, here's another option to fussy cut your greetings. It doesn't take long. When these greetings are straight like this, it's so easy to just add a little detail to your cards. I'll just trim this one a little bit. Doesn't have to be perfect. Do what you do. Yeah, it's just fun to add that detail. Okay. All right. So what I did here, and this is my version of a pop-up that's not really a pop-up, is to grab a mini glue dot and just kind of roll it as I'm grabbing it. And that's a mini pop-up. Just add that to the project. So just kind of roll it with your finger until it's like it's probably a third of a normal pop-up, but it's not flat. And just press on there. And this one, you could do the same thing, only I just did one, if I remember right. There's not a lot. Make sure it's on the right end. Okay. I didn't want that to be as perfectly in line, so I left it kind of kittywampus. Then you can start adding the elements that will bring those colors back together. There we go. That brings that red all together. Don't you love it when the colors coordinate like this? Just think it's best. So I'll just add a little bit of adhesive. And I wanted it to hang off just a hair, just to add even more dimension. Now when I have something really small, I won't add the glue to the item, I add it to my project because then I'm not touching any glue. So you can, just where you want it then, and you can just press it on there. Okay, those are for the inside. So now I feel like I can lay this flat either way and press on that. And then it's going to mind when you send it. Isn't that fun? Just love the card. And it stands up nice, and it's a nice little framed pop-up. So I'm not going to do the inside on this one, but you get the gist. So I would add the red stars to this one. And stamp the It's Your Day. So there's my friend, it's your day, and hoot hoot, you're so cute. Oh, and I did want to show you something. I took, let me clean it a little bit better in my cleaner. I cut it apart because I really like just the hoot hoot. But I didn't trim any of that because if I want it together, I know exactly where to put it back together and use it. So don't be afraid to cut your stamps apart. Now I could trim those ends off if I was going to use the You're So Cute alone very much, but most times I just want the hoot hoot, and you don't have to have the You're So Cute on there. So that's an idea for you to customize your stamps. You don't have to have them together. Okay, there is, let's see, we'll open this one. Aren't they just sweet? Just love the pop-up. So thank you, Bobby, for the idea for this stitched rectangle pop-up die card. All right, so that's what I have for you today. I did want to also share my my kits. There's just 2 days left to get in on my card kits this month, and a lot of you have already gotten in on them. So I'm sharing just one of each of these today. I have the other ones on my board. And this is the same thing. This is another vertical slider. I'm really liking these. You can see this one's a square. So you'll get everything to make this. And again, you can adhere this right on here so it doesn't move, but it's kind of fun to slide it. Slides up and down when you're playing with it. So these are mostly fun fold cards. Here's another one. You get a half a pack of this beautiful By the Bay designer paper. This is Petal Pink. I only used navy ink on these, and the Something Fancy dies and stamp set on most of these. So here's another fun fold. You can make this one into a gift card if you'd like to. So those are one of each. You get 10 cards in the kit. You get a share of the new Milky Dots. You get a share of the Balmy Blue Ribbon, and you get a half a pack of the designer paper. So $20 in product and 10 cards for $28. So that's that kit, and they need to be ordered by the 19th. I may have a couple extras after the 19th, but those are right on my tutorial shop if you're interested in that. The other one I have features the Regency Park cards, and these are all fun fold. So there's one. I did a lot of the Sentimental Park greetings and die cuts. Here's another one. Love this one. This one actually catches. So it catches in between the banners here. So remember, all the measurements are in the tutorial that you get free, but everything is cut out except your designer paper, and I give you the cut measurements in the tutorial. So here's another one, kind of a triple panel slide latch card and an offset gatefold card. So those are, you get 2 of each. You get half a pack of designer paper, half a pack of the gems, and a share of the new navy ribbon. Again, navy ink, that's all I used on all of them. And you don't have to have anything but greetings. Both of these card kits, I design my kits so you can use the greetings you want. And a lot of these do have some fussy cut flowers from the designer paper, but you could punch some too if you're not a fan of fussy cutting. You can, if you have any kind of little flower punch, you can do that too, or not. So that's the kits this month. They are available here, and along with my paper shares here and my